Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic most men think they understand, but very few actually do. And it's costing a lot of men their time, energy, and self-respect. The topic? How to spot when a woman is simply not interested in you. Most women will rarely tell you outright, "I'm not interested." In fact, many will continue entertaining your attention, soaking up your energy, and keeping you around as an option, even when they have absolutely zero romantic interest. This is not because they're evil, it's because human nature, especially female nature, operates differently than most men are taught. The dating world today is flooded with mixed signals, games, and endless confusion. But underneath all the noise, there are crystal clear signs that a woman is not genuinely interested. If you miss these signs, you end up chasing, investing, and ultimately lowering your value as a man. You see, a lot of men fall into the trap of assuming that as long as a woman is talking to them, replying occasionally, or being nice, it must mean she's interested. Wrong. Women can and will keep men orbiting them for attention, validation, or simply because they enjoy the feeling of being pursued, with no intention of taking things further. That's why today, I'm going to break it down for you. I'll teach you the 7 things a woman will always do when she's not truly interested in you. No guessing, no overthinking, just straight up truth you need to recognize. So sit tight, pay close attention, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to read between the lines, and avoid wasting your time on women who were never serious to begin with. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my exclusive online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course goes deeper, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. We just finished section 5 in the course, and you won't find this information on videos on my channel. It's easy to access with a secure payment option. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or click the link in the description to enroll now and improve your dating life today. 1. She talks about just being friends. When a woman isn't interested, one of the most common ways she'll communicate it is by framing your connection as just a friendship. And many men completely misunderstand this. They think it's a sign of potential, that she's being cautious, or that if they hang around long enough, she might change her mind. But in reality, the moment a woman positions you as a friend, she's revealing that she doesn't see you as a romantic option. Women do this because they want to let you down gently. They know most men won't take well to outright rejection. So instead, they offer a safe, polite alternative. It allows her to keep you close enough to benefit from your time, your attention, your emotional support, all while never having to invest anything romantic in return. This is how many women collect what some call orbiters. These are men who stick around, hoping, waiting, believing that one day she'll see them differently. But she won't. Because if she was truly attracted, she wouldn't be able to risk losing you to another woman. She wouldn't need to clarify that you're just a friend, because she would want to move things forward naturally. You'll often hear her say things that sound innocent at first. She might casually say, "You're such a great friend," or how much she values your friendship, or how nice it is to have someone she can always talk to. Many men confuse this for emotional closeness, not realizing she's simply creating a safe boundary where she can take from you without giving back. It's not confusion. It's not mixed signals. It's clarity disguised as kindness. Think about a situation where you've been there for her, supporting her, listening to her problems, even helping her through tough times. You finally express your feelings, expecting her to finally see all the value you bring. But instead, she smiles and says something like, "I don't want to lose what we have. I value our friendship too much." In that moment, what she's really saying is that she never saw you in that way, and she never will. As a man, it's critical to recognize this pattern early. The longer you stay in this position, hoping her feelings will change, the more you're disrespecting your own value. A woman who truly desires you doesn't risk putting you in the friend zone. She makes it clear through her actions and enthusiasm. The moment you hear the just friends talk, understand that you've already got your answer, and it's time to move on. 2. Her replies feel like favors. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, communication flows effortlessly. She's eager to respond, she looks forward to your messages, and she engages with real enthusiasm. But when she isn't interested, everything starts to feel like you're forcing it. Her replies start to feel less like natural conversation and more like she's doing you a favor by even responding. You know exactly what this looks like. You send a message, and hours later, you get a short, cold reply that barely keeps the conversation alive. You ask a question, and she responds with one-word answers. She never initiates, and when she does respond, there's no energy behind it. You're carrying the entire conversation on your back while she puts in the bare minimum effort just to keep you hanging. It almost feels like you have to earn every single reply from her. This is where a lot of men start rationalizing her behavior. They convince themselves she's just busy, she's not good at texting, or she's shy. But deep down, you feel it. You feel that shift in energy where you're doing all the work while she barely participates. The truth is, when a woman really wants you, it doesn't matter how busy she is. She finds time. She prioritizes you. She's not sitting there measuring how long she can take to respond or calculating how short her messages should be to seem uninterested. Women who desire you want to keep the momentum going because they enjoy talking to you. They don't view replying as an obligation. The problem is, most men confuse politeness for interest. Just because she occasionally responds doesn't mean she's into you. Sometimes, women will continue replying because they don't want to seem rude, or they're trying to keep you around as an option for attention. But that minimal effort speaks volumes if you're willing to see it. She's not investing. She's not curious about you. She's not trying to get to know you deeper. Every message from her feels like you're pulling teeth to get any engagement. Men often ignore this because they fear losing whatever little connection they think they have. They hold on to the hope that maybe, if they keep trying, she'll finally start showing more interest. But the truth is, if she wanted to, she would. Attraction makes communication easy. Disinterest makes it a chore. If you feel like you're constantly waiting for her to reply, wondering why her messages feel cold, or questioning whether she even wants to talk, that's already your answer. You shouldn't have to guess how a woman feels. When she's truly interested, you'll feel it in her effort. When she's not, her replies will feel like a favor she's reluctantly giving you. And as a man, you need to recognize that chasing after minimal effort is a fast way to lose your self-respect. 3. She flirts with other men, openly. When a woman is truly interested in you, one thing becomes very obvious. She wants you to feel like you're the only man in the room. Even if other guys are around, even if she's attractive and gets attention, her focus remains on you because she doesn't want to risk sending mixed signals or making you feel like you have competition. But when she's not interested, the exact opposite happens. And she doesn't even try to hide it. You see it all the time. You're with her, and yet she's entertaining conversations with other guys. She's giving other men her full attention, laughing a little too hard at their jokes, engaging in playful banter, or even complimenting them in ways that go beyond casual friendliness. And while you're standing right there, she doesn't seem concerned about how it might make you feel. That's not by accident. That's a clear indicator that you don't hold any real position of importance in her mind. Men often try to brush this off. They'll say, "Oh, she's just friendly," or "That's just her personality." But deep down, it stings because you know if the roles were reversed and she saw you openly entertaining other women, she wouldn't tolerate it for a second if she truly cared about you. Women who are invested don't play those kinds of games. They want you to feel secure because they want to secure their spot in your life. The problem is many men confuse a woman's general friendliness with flirtation and convince themselves it means nothing. But when she's actively engaging other men in your presence or bringing up other guys when you're not around, it's her way of signaling that she's available and that your position isn't exclusive or special. She's not worried about jeopardizing anything because, in her mind, there's nothing serious to jeopardize. You can always feel it too. That little shift in her body language, the way she lights up around certain guys, the extra effort she puts into conversations that don't involve you, it all adds up. And while you're sitting there trying to be patient, Hoping she'll eventually focus on you, she's sending out signals to everyone else that she's still on the market. What many men don't realize is that women naturally control the level of competition around them. When they want a specific man, they shut down those external options. Not because they have to, but because they don't want to risk losing the man they truly desire. If she's openly inviting attention from other men, that's not harmless behavior. That's her making it very clear that you are not the man she's prioritizing. Once you understand this, it becomes impossible to ignore. You stop making excuses for her behavior, and you start recognizing that a woman who truly wants you won't leave you guessing where you stand while entertaining other men right in front of you. 4. She avoids physical contact. When a woman is truly interested, physical contact becomes one of the most natural ways she expresses it. She finds reasons to touch you, to sit closer, to lean in when you talk. It's not forced, it's not calculated. It just happens, because when a woman feels genuine attraction, her body naturally wants to be close to yours. But when she isn't interested, you'll notice the opposite. She becomes very careful about maintaining her personal space. You feel it in those little moments. You reach out to give a light touch on her arm, and she subtly pulls away. You go in for a simple hug, and it feels stiff, brief, almost like she's just being polite. When you sit next to her, there's always some kind of distance she creates, whether it's shifting in her seat, crossing her arms, or leaning away. These small signals add up, and they're far more telling than any words she might say. Men often try to convince themselves that maybe she's just shy or reserved, but deep down, you know the difference. A woman who's shy but interested will still allow some form of closeness. Her nervousness might be there, but she won't resist your presence. On the other hand, a woman who's not attracted will keep that invisible wall up at all times. She's careful not to give you any opening, not because she's playing hard to get, but because she's trying to maintain a boundary. And here's where it really becomes frustrating for a lot of men. You start to overthink every small gesture, trying to analyze whether that slight touch meant something, or if that brief smile was a sign of interest. But attraction isn't complicated when it's real. When a woman wants you, she wants to feel your presence. She wants your touch because it excites her. She wants closeness because it builds anticipation. But when she's not into you, even accidental contact seems like something she's trying to avoid. The longer you ignore this, the more you'll find yourself chasing something that was never there to begin with. You keep hoping that with enough time or patience, she'll finally start opening up physically. But in reality, her resistance isn't a phase, it's her true feeling. Women don't avoid physical contact with men they desire. That natural pull toward touch and closeness happens without effort, when the attraction is genuine. When you're in this situation, you feel it. You sense the distance, you notice the hesitation, and no matter how subtle it is, your gut tells you something's off. That's because it is, and trying to convince yourself otherwise only keeps you stuck, wasting your energy on someone who simply doesn't feel that spark for you. 5. She always delays plans. When a woman is interested in a man, she looks forward to seeing him. She's excited to make plans, she clears her schedule, and she finds ways to prioritize spending time together. That excitement shows up naturally, without games, without hesitation. But when she's not interested, you'll notice something very different. She always seems to have a reason why she can't meet up. The plans keep getting pushed back, rescheduled, or cancelled altogether. You suggest a date to meet, and suddenly she's busy. You offer another date, and now something else came up. It starts to feel like you're trying to schedule a meeting with a CEO, not spend simple time with someone who claims to enjoy your company. This isn't because she's genuinely overwhelmed, or because life is just that chaotic for her. It's because seeing you isn't a priority. And when something isn't a priority, it always gets pushed to the back of the line. Men often try to justify this behavior. They'll tell themselves she's just got a lot going on right now, that her schedule will open up eventually, or that she's just waiting for the right time. But that's not how genuine attraction works. When a woman truly wants you, she finds a way to make things happen. She doesn't want to risk missing opportunities to build the connection, and she definitely doesn't want to give you the impression that she's unavailable. Here's what makes it even more frustrating. She might not completely shut down your invitations. She'll sound polite about it, even apologetic, saying things like, "I really want to see you, but this week is just crazy." That gives you just enough hope to believe she's still interested, when in reality, she's stalling because she's not excited about spending time with you. If she truly was, she wouldn't let weeks go by without meeting up. Imagine you ask her out for dinner on Friday. She responds by saying she has plans with her friends that night, but suggests maybe sometime next week. You follow up on Monday to lock in a date, and suddenly she says work is overwhelming her this week. You try again for the weekend, and she tells you she might be out of town. Every time you try, there's always something in the way. Eventually, you start to realize she's never the one reaching out to make plans herself. You're doing all the pursuing, while she's constantly giving you reasons why it can't happen. The truth is simple. When a woman is genuinely excited to see you, you don't have to chase her for time. She'll make herself available because being with you brings her joy. When she's not interested, she finds polite ways to avoid locking anything down. That constant pattern of delayed plans isn't bad timing, it's disinterest. 6. You're always initiating everything. When a woman is genuinely interested in a man, you'll feel her effort. She'll reach out, check in, start conversations, and even initiate plans. It doesn't feel like you're constantly pulling her along, because she's just as invested in seeing where things can go. But when a woman isn't truly interested, you start to notice a clear pattern. You're always the one initiating everything. You're the one sending the first message. You're the one asking when you'll see each other next. You're the one suggesting plans, following up, and keeping the momentum alive. If you stop reaching out, the interaction dies. And deep down, you feel that imbalance. You start to wonder why she never seems to take the lead, why you're always the one making the effort, while she simply responds when convenient. A lot of men try to convince themselves that this is normal, that men are supposed to lead all the time. But there's a difference between leading and carrying the entire connection by yourself. Leadership doesn't mean you do all the work, while she just sits back and barely participates. In a healthy dynamic where attraction is mutual, a woman who desires you will meet you halfway. She'll text you first sometimes, she'll bring up plans, and she'll show interest in spending time together without you having to constantly remind her. When you're the only one initiating, you start to feel like you're chasing something that isn't chasing you back. You become hyper-aware that if you don't make the move, nothing happens. That's not because she's trying to play it cool or let you lead. It's because she's not invested. A woman who wants you in her life naturally looks for reasons to engage with you. She doesn't sit around waiting to be contacted. She enjoys the interaction too much to stay silent for long. It's in those little moments where you feel the frustration building. You wake up, wondering if she'll text first. Hours go by, and nothing. You start conversations, she replies, but she never keeps them going. You suggest plans, and she agrees sometimes, but she never proposes anything herself. You're constantly driving the connection forward, while she coasts along with minimal effort. The most dangerous part is that her occasional participation gives you just enough hope to keep trying. She's not completely ignoring you, so you think maybe she's just shy, or maybe she doesn't know how to show interest. But real attraction is obvious. You never have to question it, because she makes it known through her actions. She reaches out because she enjoys your company. She initiates because she doesn't want to leave things up to chance. If you constantly feel like you're the only one keeping things alive, that's not leadership. That's one-sided effort. And no man should continue investing in someone who isn't willing to meet him halfway. 7. Her attention vanishes when you pull back. One of the clearest signs a woman isn't interested is how easily she lets the connection die when you finally stop chasing. When a woman has real interest, she notices when you pull back. She feels your absence. She reaches out, checks in, wonders where you've gone, because she values the connection and doesn't want to lose it. But when she's not invested, the moment you stop trying is the moment everything goes completely silent. And that silence speaks louder than anything she could ever say. Men need to be honest with themselves here. Too many guys stay stuck chasing women who wouldn't even notice if they disappeared tomorrow. You step back, hoping she'll miss you, but days turn into weeks and there's nothing. No calls, no texts, no questions. That should tell you everything. But instead of accepting it, a lot of men make excuses. They convince themselves she's busy, that she's waiting for them to reach out again, or that she's playing some kind of hard-to-get game. But at some point, you've got to wake up and stop lying to yourself. Women aren't complicated when they want you. They won't sit back and risk losing a man they're truly excited about. They'll notice your distance immediately, and they'll do something about it. But if she allows that space to grow without any concern, it's because she was never emotionally attached to begin with. You were simply entertaining her in the moment, and now that you've stopped, she's already moved on or shifted her focus elsewhere. Here's where most men fail. They believe persistence will eventually change her mind. They think if they give her more time, more attention, more effort, she'll finally realize what she's missing. But that's not how real attraction works. A woman's genuine interest isn't built off your persistence. It's there from the start. Your constant chasing only delays the inevitable truth you don't want to face. At some point, you have to ask yourself why you keep investing in someone who can so easily let you go without a second thought. That's not love, that's not interest, and it's definitely not respect. It's time for men to stop romanticizing one-sided connections and start paying attention to the reality of the situation. If your absence doesn't create any reaction, that's your answer. You were never her priority. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can redirect your energy towards someone who will actually value what you bring. Men need to wake up. Attraction doesn't need to be forced. If she cares, you'll feel it without having to chase. And if you don't feel it, stop wasting your time trying to create something that isn't there. At the end of the day, most men are not being rejected by women. They are rejecting themselves by refusing to accept reality. That's the hard truth nobody wants to hear. A woman doesn't need weeks or months to figure out if she's into you. She knows it almost instantly. Everything after that is either her acting on that attraction or finding ways to politely distance herself without crushing your ego. The reason so many men stay stuck is because they confuse attention with interest, politeness with desire, and convenience with commitment. But you need to understand, if you're constantly chasing, waiting, hoping, or trying to decode mixed signals, you've already lost. A woman who wants you makes it obvious. Period. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your personal experiences. Have you found yourself in situations like this? How did you handle it? I'm personally reading through the comments, and I'll be responding, because this isn't just a video. This is a conversation. I want to help you see these patterns for what they really are, so you can finally stop wasting your time and start approaching women from a position of strength. Men, the truth stings, but the sooner you face it, the stronger you become. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.